Hello, this is Gio, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. This is my son's Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP. It was manufactured about 2002, according to the sticker here, and it works fine, but the only problem is he's dropped it a few times, and at the hinge you could see it's kind of cracked off. These little pieces have fallen off, and as you open it up, the top lid can come off. So I did a little research wondering how I could fix this, and I discovered that you could actually order new cases for these Nintendo Game Boys. And so I ordered one from China. I forgot how much this was, maybe $9 for this thing, maybe $6, I forget. But so it came with this case, some little parts, little stickers, etc. So I'm going to give this a shot. First time I've ever done this. I downloaded some instructions from the internet, and I'll show you how I did it. So I think I got everything ready. I opened up the package, and it comes with these little parts. I already showed you the bottom sticker. And opening it up, it looks like it has a few little plug buttons and some little accessories. I included some additional Nintendo stickers and some little screw plugs. So that's what it came with. This is the original. I'll put that aside for now. And I also have a little ice tray here, because anytime I deal with little tiny screws, I just like to keep them sorted in ice. I have this little small screwdriver. This one, you could either have several different small screwdrivers, but this one I kind of purchased because it has various tips, and I'll probably need all of them. And if I discover I need any other tools, I'll go ahead and grab some. But let's get started. Okay, so I put everything away except for the original Game Boy. There is one more thing that you need, and these are little specialty screwdrivers that you can get on the internet. These are called tri-wing or sometimes tri-tip screwdrivers, and they're kind of specially made for these Nintendo type of products. Here, let me draw you a little picture. Now you wouldn't be able to see the tip, but these again are tri-wing screwdrivers. So their tips look like just instead of the traditional Phillips, which are like that, you're dealing with a tri-tip. And so you need to order one of these specialty, because there's a number of screws in this Game Boy which can only be removed with these tri-wing screwdrivers. So these are only a couple of bucks, $3 on the internet. So go ahead and order that at the same time you order your replacement case. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is just to take any game cartridges you have. There's a nice little Zelda game that my son had. And then we're just going to take our little Phillips screwdriver and remove the back battery compartment. So this, put that aside, and pop out the battery. And put that aside. Okay, so the next thing you do is you take your tri-wing screwdriver, and you're going to remove 6 screws. One right here, one right there, one right there, one right there, one in the back of the battery compartment, and then one kind of where the game slot goes in. So we'll go ahead and remove these. And again, these can only be removed with the tri-wing screwdriver. So now that we got those screws off, we can just go ahead and remove the top, or in this case the bottom, and then put that aside. And that will reveal 3 more screws, which your Phillips will deal with. One right here, one right here, and one right here. So we'll go ahead and remove those 3 screws. So with those 3 screws removed, you could remove the motherboard, but just be very careful because there's a little ribbon cable right back there, and you have to kind of unclip that. So that's what I'll do next. And so to do this, I just changed my screwdriver to a flathead right there, and I'm not sure if you can see this. I'm just gonna kind of pop off these. Don't worry about that. These 2 little kind of push these 2 little levers down on either side. Trying to be very careful, and then it just pops off. So there's just two little things you just pop off and the ribbon cable is gone. Okay, so with the ribbon cable removed, you just want to remove all these little tiny parts. This one just came from that little place right there, and put them in these little rubber pads here. These here, and let's just put this down for a sec. And then all these little pieces here, and this comes with little buttons, and these should all fall out there. You just put them aside. Put your board aside neatly. Next you want to do is remove the little speaker, which is right here, and it's just laying there nice and easy. I'm just going to use my little flathead just to lift it up gently. Take it out and put it to the side. And then the speaker also has a little tiny mesh that you want to save on the side there as well. Now I'm taking my Phillips. Again, there's one screw right by the ribbon cable here. Being careful of the ribbon cable, you just want to remove this screw. Take it out, put it aside, and then when you flip this over, this little piece it just fell off. This little piece just came off, and so you just want to put that aside too. And just try to be careful of this ribbon cable. Okay, so with that little piece removed, we're just going to open up and expose the monitor. Oh, now now this particular Game Boy broke its ends, so this actually is just kind of slipping out. If you have one in better condition and the hinges are still intact, this will still stay connected. So let's see if I could just slip this out right here. So just remember, if yours is intact, you will have a complete one. And the next thing you want to do is I just went back to my little flathead here, and you want to remove these 5 little covers, and these will expose some screws. So we'll just go ahead and remove these little tabs like that to all 5 of them. So with all the screws removed, you just want to try to pry this. This one's actually just peeling away. You might have to pry this open a little bit more, but this will just pop off like that. You should be able to get your backing off. And at this point, if yours was actually still attached to the base, this is when the monitor and the ribbon cable would just slip off. And so you just probably want to just clean this off as best you can, but right now we'll just put it aside and I'll clean it in a little bit. So with your monitor out, the last thing you want to salvage and is just these little hinge mechanisms here. Again, mine are kind of broken, or at least the holder, but what you want to do is just take a screwdriver and kind of like just poke it in the back, and just with kind of some brute force just try to push it out. You got to be careful so you don't stab yourself, but you just have to push it out and it'll come out like that, and then just put these aside. So you want to do that with both of them, and those will be the last thing that you salvage from your old case. And so the last thing you want to do with these little hinges is just pop off this little cap. You just kind of push it back. You find the little sliding, and they just kind of pop off there. These come with the new kit, so you could just put these aside and then save these little hinges. So before you put your bottom case of your original case away, you want to take this little tiny bolt out as well, since it doesn't come with the original, and you might have to just try to work this out, maybe with a razor blade. I'll have to get a razor blade and pop this out. But take this metal bolt out as well. So after all that trouble of taking this little bolt out, I finally opened up my package and realized that actually the kit I bought actually comes with all these screws and the extra bolts. So the instructions I got off the internet, they said that they didn't come with these, but But my particular package does come with these, and so I'll just reuse the ones in this kit. So the next thing you want to do is just put your lid on. Make sure it goes in the right direction, and go ahead and install your hinge components. They kind of fit in a certain way. You might have to wiggle things around a little bit. Okay, I did get it in. What I had to do was I kind of opened up the door and kind of wiggled it back and forth until they just popped back in. And so next comes the monitor. Okay, now we take our monitor. Being very careful with the ribbon cable. We want to insert the ribbon cable. Well, let's just put the monitor right there for now. Kind of very carefully insert the ribbon cable through this little slot. Might have to tip it over, and there we go. Make sure that's in there nicely. And then you take your back. And then go ahead and let's get the ribbon cable out of the way a little bit more. And just kind of fit your back right there, right on top. Make sure your ribbon cable kind of moves properly, and then we're going to reinsert these screws. Now I'm actually just reinserting the original screws since I don't really want to figure out which one's which. Okay, got this in. I just double check with the ribbon cable. There's a full motion. It seems to be working okay. And then I'm just going to put these little stoppers. There's 3 of one kind, 2 of the other kind. The 2 in the corner are the larger ones. And you just kind of push them in. Okay, next we take our little extra shield here, figure out which way it goes. I believe it goes in like this. And then our ribbon cable is protected inside of this. So be careful when you shut this down. Make sure your ribbon cable's out of the way. And go ahead and replace the single screw right underneath the ribbon cable. If I could show you that. And then we go ahead and replace our speaker. If I could grab it here. Little pad. And then the speaker itself just fits right like that. Okay, so now it's time to put all these little pads back where they go. Now I'm just going to use the ones that came with the kit and kind of just reverse the order. Let's see, I think this kind of went vertical like that, so put that in place there. Put this upside down there. These little buttons go here. Like that. This goes just like that. And I think that is it. Okay, I should be ready to put back the motherboard. So remember, the ribbon cable goes here. This little pad fits with that. Those 2 up here, and etc. So these should just be able to, well, I actually have to install the ribbon cable. So I kind of have to slip this in. Make sure that these pins are down. And see if I can slip this in. This might need a little more skill than I have. Hold on, let's see. Being very careful. Okay. Let's see if I could do this well. Being careful with the ribbon. I've never done this before, so forgive me. Stick that in and then close these little tabs. One. Let's see if this one will close. Two. Okay, the ribbon cable is in place. Oops, sorry about that. And then I should just be able to lower this just like this. And so just move this around. Feels like it moves okay. And now we're ready for the 3 screws we took out earlier. 1, 2, 3. Let's go put those in. And these again are, I believe they're Phillips. Yes. Being careful of the motherboard and try not to scratch any components, very brittle. Okay, so the next thing you do is the backing. Now, this should go in pretty easily. The 2 things you want to watch for are these. There's a switch here and a switch over here, which is on this side. But the one you want to be careful about is the switch over here. And you want to make sure that this little piece right there fits in with that switch. So that's the one you might want to just kind of readjust the switch a little bit. If it doesn't line up, just move the switch just slightly. That's the volume, or no, that's the on-off switch. It's not fitting yet. There you go, it looks like it fits now. And then try not to force anything in. I think it's in. Okay, and now let's just replace these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. The longer ones are on the edges, the shorter ones are in the middle. And again, this is the special tri screwdriver. Okay. Looks like everything looks like it all works. Okay, now for the battery. Here's the battery. Make sure you, let's see, positive, negative, positive, negative. Stick that in. Put the case. Now I forgot if this was actually, this battery was charged or not, so hopefully when we get all this together it will start up without charging, but it's kind of been sitting. There you go. That's the new case. Hopefully everything will work. Let's give it a shot. Zelda back in. Now I actually did not know how to use this, so let's see. There we go. It is functional. Let's just make sure. Again, this is the first time I've done this. Do I hit start? Start. Alright, I did get it working. There you go. And it seems to work fine. So let's see, press start. There we go. And there you have it. Let me turn it off now. Tells you how much I know about Game Boys. But there you go. Brand new case. Nice and shiny. There you go. I hope this worked. I hope this helped you out. I mean, this is the first time I've done it, and looked a little foolish doing it, but I was successful, and now I have a nice functional, or my son has a nice functional case. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.